and doing training camps and got the right team around him, got the coaches around him. So he's better than like what you would think.
You were impressed?
Yeah, I was impressed for sure.
There's been some talk about possibly Joshua using Jake Paul as a tune-up to fight you. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know about tune-up. I think Jake Paul knocks him out.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Why so? What impresses you about Jake Paul?
I just think Jake Paul would knock AJ out. I think AJ's a spent force, and I think Jake Paul's on the rise. And I like his new heavyweight look. Bit chubby, bit bulky.
Jake Paul looks in incredible shape for his next big fight. Boxing pros are shocked by his new body and hard work. Everyone is surprised at how much he has improved in the gym. Oscar De La Hoya is praising Jake. He says Jake is working harder than most other fighters. He is stunned by his great progress. This shows that Jake is taking his training very seriously. He looks bigger, stronger, and very ready.
Doing the work in the gym, I actually have a lot of respect for him because you have this kid who grew up on Nickelodeon basically, and I don't think he boxed back then, but he takes up boxing. He's actually putting in the work. He's actually a harder worker than most fighters out there. Like when it comes to training, when it comes to like being disciplined, and yeah.
Shakur Stevenson is truly surprised by Jake Paul's new look in training camp. He sees Jake working with top coaches. Shakur says many people do not see how skilled Jake has become now. While others doubt him, Stevenson is impressed by Jake's strength and fast feet. He says Jake's new focus shows he is a real fighter. He is very serious about the ring. Jake is working hard to prove everyone wrong.
Crazy, because I think Jake is better than people would even understand. A lot of people don't think he's that as good because he started so late. So it's like you don't know how good he really could be if he started earlier, but you could tell like he's taking the craft serious, like he's locking in and doing training camps and got the right team around him, got the coaches around him. So he's better than like what you would think.
You were impressed?
Yeah, I was impressed for sure.
Dare I say surprised maybe as well?
Yeah, I was surprised because I thought like when you think a guy coming from YouTube, you're like, okay, this guy don't know nothing. But you could tell he had a good coach in his corner who's telling him the right things. He's listening to the right things. And then he's not bad. Like he's just not a bad fighter. Like his instincts is like to not get beat up or not get hit. And
Roy Jones Jr. is a boxing legend and he sees Jake Paul getting much better. He says Jake is way stronger than before. He warns that anything can happen in a real fight if Jake lands one big punch. According to Jones, Jake has the power to surprise all his haters. One lucky hit could change the whole match. This shows that even the greatest fighters are starting to see that Jake has real talent.
In November, going against Mike Tyson, you've gone in the ring with Mike Tyson before too. What do you kind of make of that fight, and who do you have winning, if you don't mind me asking?
That's a really tough fight to call right now because Jake has done so much better and gotten so much better. So these guys get into boxing and they take it serious. Jake has really gotten good. So if Jake can land a good punch on Mike, it's going to be problematic for Mike. But if Jake also can take Mike into the late rounds, with Mike being 58 years old, that would give Jake probably...
Tyson Fury is another huge star and he is supporting Jake Paul. He is talking about Jake's new size and power. He says he cannot wait to see Jake knock out Anthony Joshua. Fury believes that Jake is now strong enough to give AJ a real fight. He says Jake's new body is very impressive. It shows that Jake is becoming a real threat to the big heavyweights in boxing.
Talk about possibly Joshua using Jake Paul as a tune-up to fight you. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know about tune-up. I think Jake Paul knocks him out.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Why so? What impresses you about Jake Paul?
I just think Jake Paul would knock AJ out. I think AJ's a spent force, and I think Jake Paul's on the rise. And I like his new heavyweight look.
Chris Algieri says Jake is a very interesting person in boxing. He loves that Jake chose to fight Anthony Joshua. He says taking on AJ is a big move with huge risks. Algieri praises Jake for taking this chance. He says wanting such a big fight shows real heart and courage. It shows he believes in himself. This makes him different from other online stars. Jake is showing he is very brave.
Jake makes a ton of money fighting guys he's supposed to beat. Now he's fighting a guy that he's not supposed to beat. So it's a really, I don't know. I don't know what the play is, but I don't know. Jake is an interesting guy, man. And like I said, I'm going to say it again. He is not dumb. So he's got something up his sleeve, whatever it may be. If it's just a way to get respect and to make a ton of money and keep this deal alive, that right there is respectable. If that's the play, that's the play. If he really thinks that he can beat Anthony Joshua, shoot, then that's the play there. Listen, he's taking a risk. He's taking a chance. So I don't know. I think there's a lot of upside. The downside is getting hurt. That's another reason why people are like, oh, Joshua's going to throw it. I'm like, no, he's not. He's got a bunch of lucrative dates down the line. This is one of them. And if he goes out there and was quote unquote take the bag and throw this fight, it's they're going to take all the credibility away from any future earning potential. So that he'd be taking so much money out of his pocket to try and make the money right now.
Sean Porter is talking about Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua. He says both men are at different points in their lives. He says Jake is stronger and faster on his feet than AJ right now. Porter thinks that while AJ was once the boss, he is now leaving gaps for Jake. Jake has new skills and a smart plan. This gives him a real chance to fight and win at a very high level.
There it is. There it is.
He didn't even, Francis almost beat Tyson Fury. And
Here's the thing, though. You're correct.
It's a white thing?
Yeah. I know. I thought that. I said that's probably what people are going to think the minute I say he has a chance. It's not it. Not a Jake Paul guy.
White.
Okay, yeah. Not a Jake Paul guy. Check my records, check my files. But look, at this stage of their careers,
Yeah.
Jake Paul has quicker feet and quicker hands than Anthony Joshua.
Yeah.
Anthony Joshua's punch resistance has waned a little bit, right?
Well.
Against much bigger men and punchers than Jake Paul.
Very true.
Right? And everybody's expecting
Why does he have a Puerto Rican flag behind him?
Because he lives in Puerto Rico.
He lives in Puerto Rico.
Okay.
Which is a United States territory, so isn't it redundant of you, Jake? You're not Puerto Rican, but that's okay.
Okay. All right.
Puerto Rico, ho!
That's crazy, but go ahead.
Well, he's not punching like Felix Trinidad, but he got a little pop, and again, a little bit quicker at this stage of their careers. And when we talk about AJ and Ngannou, AJ came in with the right kind of surly, no nonsense attitude for that assignment, and he's coming into this one not like that, smiling, thinking it's kind of a joke, and almost not wanting to validate it with that kind of energy. The Great White Hype. So maybe we get the Great White Hype. He's about to be Terry Conklin by Damon Wayans.
I see what you did with Tommy Fury. I'm about to wash your ass.
True. But he's gotten a little better, and Tommy Fury was a mover.
Tommy Fury was not half the man of what.
Not a quarter
Anthony
of what
Joshua has lost.
Right. But
look, go back to Tommy Fury fight. Y'all want to talk about boxers?
Yeah, Tommy Fury, absolutely. I mean, Tommy Fury isn't a quarter of what Anthony Joshua amounts to. No, I would not.
He's leveled up, though.
He's gotten better.
Chael Sonnen is talking about Anthony Joshua's shocking words about Jake Paul. This shows a big change in how people see the YouTuber. Sonnen says Joshua now puts Jake Paul ahead of Tyson Fury. This statement has grabbed the attention of fans and pros everywhere. Sonnen says this praise from a star like Joshua is a very big deal. It shows that Jake is earning real respect in the boxing world. This proves that Jake's fast growth and hard training are not being ignored anymore. Even the best fighters are watching him now. Sonnen says Jake's new body and focus in the gym have built this new name for him. It is forcing the old pros to take him seriously. He says this respect is real. It shows that Jake's skills and speed are getting better in ways everyone can see. Overall, Sonnen says Joshua's words change the whole story about Jake Paul. It confirms that his hard work and his better skills are now getting notice from the very top of pro boxing. Jake is no longer just a kid from the internet.
Joshua ranks Jake Paul ahead of Tyson Fury in heavyweight rankings. Now, the psychology of a work is a very fascinating thing. There was one in MMA, and it was bad. It was really bad. It was Dan Severn versus Shannon Ridge. And as far as works go, this was bad. It was very obvious. And it wasn't, you gotta understand it from this perspective. If I'm in the back, I've never done a work, I would have happily been involved in a work. I would have happily been involved in 50 works if I'm going over. If I'm in the locker room getting ready for a fight and my opponent comes in and goes, listen, I'm taking the night off. At X minute, do this, I'm going to do this. I'd have said yes every single time. And so would every other fighter. So it put Dan Severn in a very tough spot. I don't think these guys flew out with an agreement to do a work. I think it was like a last minute suggestion, and that's fine. It's just it was videoed and it's bad. And when it's videoed and it gets out and people call it out for what it was, which was a scripted match, it was Dan's response that was the giveaway, and Dan denied it. But it was his response. This was the heavyweight champion of the UFC. This was the biggest draw and the most respected name at one point.
Jaleon Love is talking directly to the people who doubt Jake Paul. He says no one would ever put Jake in such a dangerous fight if he was not ready. Love says that Jake has spent a lot of time training with the best heavyweights in the world. He pushes himself in every workout to get better and stronger. He says Jake's training covers everything from speed and skill to a smart plan for the ring. According to Love, this hard work shows that Jake is not just a famous star looking for news anymore. He has changed into a real fighter who can take on tough guys. Love also says Jake learns fast from the best coaches and sparring partners. He is growing every single day. These words show that Jake's strong mind and hard work could be the big secret to his next fight. He is ready to prove that he belongs with the best fighters.
Up to the task, we would never put Jake in anything that we don't believe he can accomplish or do. And plus it's taking risks and gamble. Everybody say, oh, you're not fighting this, you're not fighting that, you're not fighting this guy, you're fighting these guys this age, this it. So now we're fighting Anthony Joshua, 2-time heavyweight and Olympic gold medalist. And what can you say? We're not in it just, people thought we were in it for the money, the shenanigans. They said, no, we're in it to be real. We're here. And we worked our ass off. Shout out to Frank Sanchez, Jared Anderson, Lawrence Okoli. Bro, we had some fucking dogs in our camp. We put Jake through hell. And again, we would never put him in nothing he wasn't prepared for. So we're looking forward to the 19th.
How did those sparrings go with those guys? I mean, I know he was on one of those shows and said that, his nose moved a little bit.
For sure. These guys wasn't playing either. Frank Sanchez is a fucking bull. Came right at him every sparring session. So yeah, of course, Jake had his battles in there, but he was tested and he got through them and he came out on top and he did a lot of good things. So we got a lot of love from Lawrence Okoli. That was the main guy that really helped us out because of the style and everything else. And man, we're prepared.
Did those sparring sessions give you maybe more confidence before?
Hell yeah. If you can get through Frank Sanchez, Jerry Anderson, and Lawrence Okoli in the same day, we're much better. We're not worried about Anthony Joshua.
I mean, I saw him in there. He looks, I feel like maybe you should be a little worried, right? I mean,
yeah, of course you have worries. I mean, you don't want anybody to get hurt. But this is boxing. This is boxing, and this is what the
Lawrence Okoli has a lot to say after sparring with Jake Paul. He says his mind changed fast once he saw Jake move in the ring. Okoli saw Jake's power and his brave heart up close. He says Jake works harder than anyone else. He pushes himself through every tough drill with total focus. Okoli says Jake takes every gym session very seriously and never takes the easy way out. He always wants to get better at boxing. He was very impressed by how Jake stays calm and sharp even when the pressure is high. This is something you do not see often from an internet star. Okoli also thinks that Jake's steady training could be the key when he fights Anthony Joshua. Even with the gap in size and what the haters say, Okoli believes Jake's hard work gives him a real shot at the top. After boxing with him, Okoli is sure that Jake Paul is becoming a serious and disciplined fighter. He thinks Jake is ready to shock the fans and the experts. He is not just playing around anymore.
Jake Paul. How did that come about, first of all?
Well, I said I wanted to see why Jake Paul thinks he can go in there with AJ, and I said it, and then I got reached out by his team, and I said, oh, "You sure?" I said, "Yes." I said, "All right, well, I'll pop up. I'll pop in. I'll probably be sent home within a couple of days." But we did the whole camp, so it was good.
So, what was your perception of him before you went in camp and sparred him, and what's it now?
I thought he would be soft, if I'm honest with you. I thought he'd be soft. Nah, doesn't want to be in here, doesn't want this. isn't good enough, isn't whatever. And then by the time we left, the opposite. I think he's got big balls. I think he's game. I think he's. I want to see him do well because he puts in the work. That's it in a nutshell. I think it's a huge ask. AJ is a massive guy, a very experienced guy, 2-time heavyweight world champion. Like, for boxing, the boxer would be is like, you can't. Surely you can't let this guy come in and do it, because now when I go out, guys who don't box are going to be thinking, well, if Jake Paul could beat AJ, then I could beat Lurk. I don't want that. I don't want to have those conversations. But as for someone who's actually just, putting in the work and dedicates their life to something, I don't want to see them get beat badly. Like, you know what I mean? I want to see him go in there and do his thing. I want to see him go in there and showcase what, hard work and belief can do. If our WBO world champion could come from white collar to be heavyweight world champion, then, why can't Jake Paul be competitive with AJ?
How many rounds did you do with him? Do you remember?
Even with more support, some experts still have doubts. Amir Khan and Johnny Nelson are attacking the fight. They say AJ should win easily and stop this influencer boxing trend forever. Their words show the fight between old-school boxing and the new world where internet stars are becoming big players. Meanwhile, Carl Froch is defending his right to speak out against Jake Paul and his team. Froch is angry about the new rules and limits put on him just for sharing his thoughts about Jake and AJ. He keeps saying that Anthony Joshua is the much bigger and better fighter. He believes that telling the honest truth should not be punished. His words show the big debate about social media stars in the sport of pro boxing today.
Genuine people, because if there were, they'd have me there giving my honest opinion and being critical. And I can give Jake Paul credit. I can give him credit. I've just called him Jake instead of Fake, because he's jumping in with Anthony Joshua. He's taken a risk. I thoroughly expect Anthony Joshua to absolutely flatten him. If not in the first minute of the first round, he might have a look. He'll do him in round 2. It's fight over. This is a ridiculous mismatch. But I should be given access. I should be allowed to go there and voice my opinion, and to not be given a valid reason as to why. That's why I'm doing this and having a little rant. Let me know in the comments what you think, if I should be there, if you want me there, or if you don't care. But bottom line is, this is out of order because this is restriction of freedom of speech. Now, there's going to be a lot of you saying, listen, Froch, what did you expect? You've been giving Jake Paul shit for years. Well, listen, I've not been giving him shit for no reason. I've been giving my professional opinion. Decades in the boxing ring. I've been boxing since I was 8 years old, amateur, professional, world champion, Hall of Fame. I've medalled in the World Championships. First Englishman to medal in the World Amateur Championships. Followed closely by David Hay, might I add. But I'm entitled to give my honest opinion. I'm qualified. I've got the CV, it stacks up. So if I can't give an opinion and be honest about what I think about Jake Paul and the fact that he can't fight, he's not a professional boxer and is making a mockery of the sport, then what can I do? So I'd like to see some of the press that are there today present ask what is the reason. Why has Froch on Fighting been denied access to this event? Why is Carl Froch not allowed to come here and ask a couple of questions? Because there's no real valid reason. So I'd like to think if this can happen to me.
That is it. Don't go anywhere. We will see you next time.